Okay, everybody. Agents is too good to move on from, so we're going to keep it rolling. This next segment is called Why 2025 is the Year of Agents. I don't think our speaker needs any introduction. He's considered one of the founding fathers of modern AI. Yep, let's give him some claps already. Let's do it. Make him feel comfortable. Co-founder of Near Protocol and Near AI, Illia Polosukhin. Thanks.
Okay. Just, a few technical difficulties as usual, but thank you for everyone for being here and not at some happy hour already. So let's talk about why 2025 is Year of Agents. If you haven't, already heard 50 AI speeches this week. So for those who are not familiar with me, before diving into blockchain, I was AI researcher. I worked at Google Research across question answering, machine learning, and natural language understanding. And I was on a team that developed the original transformer architecture that's now used across effectively every machine learning you're using. Now, we started as an AI startup. We were teaching machines to code. And we were actually coordinating a lot of people to really collect training data and reward them for their work. And we were missing some way of coordinating them, some way of paying them globally. And so that's kind of how we got to blockchain. We haven't found anything that would satisfy our needs and end up building our own. So that's how Near Protocol was born. Now, for past over a year, we've been working a lot more on AI side and bringing these two together. Now, I think it's important to understand that AI is a final platform shift. What started as just funny tool you can use with natural language, to me always seemed like the way we're going to interact with computing is going to completely change. If computers are able to code, if computers are able to write programs themselves, they're able to effectively execute actions and make decisions, you don't actually need layers and layers of software. You don't even need layers and layers of companies and decision makers who would delegate a variety of decisions. And we see this not even kind of in business, we see this in science as well, right? More and more actual research is done with AI tooling, and AI researchers are getting rewarded with Nobel Prizes. And so the paradigm shift that's happening is from this aggregator-dominated internet, where we effectively interfacing through Google, through Amazon, through Instagram, through DoorDash, that are really monetizing our attention, right? And trying to capture that and trying to maximize this. And then they're routing us to different siloed apps where we need to effectively give even more information, and then they're trying to monetize on it. We're already transitioning, starting to this way of agents interacting with websites, right? We have Operator, we have a few other things, where they're starting to interact on your behalf. They're starting to act, they're starting to make transactions. But if you look after that, you can imagine an internet where there's no websites, there's no apps. It's really just agents talking to agents and achieving the outcome you're desired without really having anything in the middle, right? Actually making decision and executing on it. So, being a chill guy, just using AI instead of apps. So that's really where we're going. Now, the challenge, so before the challenge, just to give you a visual, you can imagine your assistant on the background just running constantly, making decisions, and executing them directly, right? Booking flights, getting metal concerts as soon as they open up, as well as rebalancing your stablecoin pools between different borrowing protocols based on the, what's the best rate. So this is coming. This is not that far away. Now, the challenge is everybody right now uses one of the few API providers. And these API providers have effectively ultimate control on how you can use them and what you can do. So these closed source companies effectively can turn off access to anything you're using right now. They can turn off the whole country. And if we assume that kind of the whole internet will run on this new way where AIs are interacting, they can effectively just turn off multiple digits of percentage of GDP from access to the AI technology. Now, cool thing is, we have open source AI, maybe not AV system, but we have been, people been open to share their models with the ecosystem. Now the challenge is it's highly unsustainable, right? Companies that are actually doing this are effectively burning so much cash to train these models and do research that they're not able to make money back when they open source this, right? Because nobody is paying them back for the work they've done. So we need a different model. And so we're calling this model user-owned AI, right? This is where instead of AI optimizing for some profit of some company, or being kind of freely shared with everyone and hoping there's some economic model later, we have an AI that optimizes for well-being of individual users and their economic success. And there's incentive alignment and structure that really powers this system where everybody, the developers, the researchers, users, the services can actually get rewarded from doing that. So that's what we're calling user-owned AI. Now, let's think through what agents that we need to have what they should provide, right? So it's important that as we're sharing more and more of our information and data, that these agents are confidential, right? Right now, these agents, the assistants, will not be able to help you if they don't have all of the context of what you're doing, access to email, calendar, medical records, banking, crypto. But you won't be, especially in this crowd, we will not be sharing this information with centralized companies. You also want them to be verifiable. You don't want something that can effectively run arbitrary model, can change underneath, effectively can censor or modify the outcome. You want it to be monetizable, so you want people who are building them be able to make money. You want them to discover each other, right? Hey, how do I know how to do this? Well, I don't need to have all the tools implemented. I don't need to have all the APIs. I can just reach out to the agent that specializes in that. And so we need a standard protocol, how they can interact, pay each other, exchange data and information. Obviously, we want them to transact in crypto, but world still runs on fiat, so we need to support both. And we need a way to access global liquidity, even beyond Web3, traditional finance, invoice financing, et cetera. So we really want these agents to be on your side, but then plugged in into the whole ecosystem of agents and services and goods. Now, how does it apply to blockchain? Well, one of the things is that AI is effectively the final state of chain abstraction, right? If you have been, last year at ETHDenver, we talked a lot about chain abstraction, kind of how that is the next wave that we saw play out last year. But now we are just seeing a way to interface with kind of variety of tools in crypto just directly from natural language and kind of rich interactions you can generate with AI. So that's really what's coming next, a simplified interface. Now, on the other side, we introduced this new concept of how you can build for Web3, right? If you have a verifiable confidential agents, you can now build a lot more that you could before with just smart contracts, right? You can build something that can read data from Twitter, run AI model, maintain a local database that's completely confidential, and then still push all of this execution back to a smart contract and transact across different chains, right? So check out the Shade agents, which is kind of this concept of really programmability that you can bring to your applications with ease now. Now, just as a high level, you can think of AI serving almost as a front end to all of these rich interactions we're creating. And chain abstraction is in the middle, right? It's an interface that really plugs in all these bits and pieces with intents, chain signatures, et cetera. And you have scalable blockchains on the back end, really facilitating the value movement and asset tracking, actually being a ledger. So that's kind of the stack that is created. So that's a lot of talking. Let's actually look at some example, right? So this is an example where you have a specialized agent that knows how to shop for audio equipment. So this is a very specialized agent, maybe has context, maybe has additional knowledge. Now, you as a user will not be using individual agents. You should be interacting with your assistant who will be routing you, depending on the request you're doing, to a specialized agent under the hood, right? So for example, you want to shop for headphones, and your assistant first, will try to answer the question and provide you some context so you actually know where you're going. Now, when you give it, hey, actually, I want, for example, cheaper headphones, the next thing it does, it actually goes and reaches out and finds what are the different specialized agents who can do this request. And by talking to that agent directly, it actually gets a number of options which then user can choose from. So this is a rich interface that gets propagated back to the user. User chooses. Now, the SoundSage agent requests to fill in the address where to deliver. And through that communication that's happening on the background, you don't really see the actual interactions between your assistant and SoundSage. You have this process of effectively purchase executed. And so now it requested the payment, right? So again, a very structured interaction for requesting payment. So you can pay with your crypto wallet, and obviously through the kind of intent liquidity, you can pay with any asset from any chain for this purchase. So this is the idea. You have effectively your AI assistant that's an interface to the rest of the internet. Now, this is interesting, but what's more important is how this is going forward, and specifically how this is coming to users. And so we have Sweat Wallet, one of our partners, who've already integrated this into their own application, and they're going to be rolling this out to the test users, where you're able to initiate their assistant agent called Mia, who knows both everything about you, about the context on your phone, as well as about Sweatcoin, and can go and navigate to other agents in the ecosystem, right? So you have now an AI assistant that is rich and contextual that can take actions both within your wallet and even within your phone to really interact richly with the rest of the internet. So the idea is with Sweat Wallet, you're already getting millions of users who are going to be starting to use your agents. So as you build more agents, right, they're getting more and more usage from this. This assistant becomes more and more useful. And so you have a flywheel where more agents mean more use cases. More use cases means more users are spending more time with this assistant, the assistant becoming smarter as well. So this is kind of the idea of this system that we're building. Now, how big is this transformation, right? This is just like a conservative assessment of this agent network becoming a real thing where you're effectively removing all of the digital ads, all of the aggregators, all of the payment processing fees because we're switching to the crypto rails, and you have your AI assistant effectively as interface that navigates across the internet. You obviously can do all the financial services as well through the rich DeFi ecosystem that's been built in Web3, right? Fully chain abstracted, really allowing user to be on one side in control, on the other hand, have an AI assistant really helping them and running in the background to execute these actions. Now, this is not a single company or single even ecosystem effort. And reality is we need a whole group of people coming together and really to build this out. And so I'm excited today to announce an Open Agent Alliance. We really want to bring together all of these different partners to build together towards this vision, where AI assistants and agents are working together in the open ecosystem, really building this user-owned AI. Now, this is not just a bunch of logos. Everybody's building different component of an ecosystem, everything from hardware, from inference. We have, obviously agent frameworks that are enabling this. We have folks like Fala who are building trusted execution environments to ensure confidentiality. We have Sweat and Bitte and Doppelganger who are offering their assistant application to really bring users into this ecosystem. So let's have folks on stage and let's introduce this alliance. Hello. All right, we have this amazing crew coming in. And so I'm really excited. I mean, we're here to introduce this idea and really excited to have all of you as well building and contributing as well. All right, thank you very much, guys. It's all about photos, man. It's all about marketing at this point. You build a big vision, you bring marketing, and then, obviously we're all builders here, so we actually build real technology. But Now it's all about marketing. So I'm really excited. This is my talk. And I hope everyone can try this out and start contributing as well, as I'm sure all of you are builders. And if you're not, we actually have a no-code agent builder platform as well, which you can use to build your own agents. Thank you.